Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing. It's week 4, season 1, 2024. We are in the Ray Racing Formula Ford FF1600 at Summit Point Jefferson. And what can I tell you about this lap? Right, it is a very tricky little course. There are very, very few places where you can overtake safely, if there are any at all. And it's really warm, so it's going to be very, very slippy. Either way, I've managed to put together what I consider to be a relatively respectful lap. This is about 10 laps in, so my tyres are nice and warm. So this will not be a time that you can set, or I assume you won't be able to set it during qualifying. But it is the sort of line and pace that you'll be looking to do later on in the race. Anyway, as always, please like and subscribe, and you will get one of these videos every single week. I also do the Formula V, which I'm somewhat more of a specialist in. And what we do is we do a lap in the cockpit where I slow it down, show you my braking points, and then we do it from chase cam, and then back in the cockpit at full speed again with the driving line on. Okay, I'll see you in the cockpit. Okay, so here we are in the cockpit for the first lap. Cross the line, revving it out in third gear, and the braking marker that we're looking for is this last tree on the left-hand side. Just as we hit that, I'm going to be braking up to about 100%, trailing it off down to the apex, down to second, down to first gear. Now, the reason why I can get up to 100% braking there is rather than having my brake bias set at 58%, which means 58% of the brakes are on the fronts. If you did do that, you would be locking up there. I've got it down at 55. I find that that's a far better balance for this car as a rule, so I have it set there. Anyway, in first gear, revving it out up to second gear, and then slight tap on the brakes up to about 40%, and then back on the throttle round turn 2 here, taking some curb, straight back on the brakes up to about 70%, and then down to first gear, revving it out nice and early, up to third gear. Now the next braking marker here that we're looking for is this third to last tree on the left hand side. Looks like a larger tree for turn 5. And what we're going to do here is we're going to brake briefly up to about 80%, and we're going to trail it off down to second gear, and then we're going to start coming back on the throttle, increasing the pressure from the apex, and I'm back up to 100% throttle here, letting the car drift out wide, up to third gear on the blue line, up to fourth gear again on the blue line, and then this next set of corners, 6 and 7, very, very tricky. What we're going to do is the braking marker is this tyre wall on the right hand side. I'm going to brake up to about 75, 80%, down to third, down to second, and following it through in second gear there. You can see I did have right hand down 2 or 3 times during that final corner just to stop myself from spinning, and I have taken that corner quite a lot in first gear during this practice. This was the fastest lap that I put in, a 49.890. And it was in second gear just because I felt that the revs and the speed was enough to justify keeping it in second there. Okay, let's go through again from chase cam and at full speed. Okay, here we are in chase cam for a full speed run through. Go over to the left hand side. Last tree, brake hard for about 90%. Trail it off nicely. 100% that was. Getting old. Very old. And across the line. Okay, final run through from the cockpit with the driving line on. See you in a second. Okay, here we go. See a nice trail break down to the apex there. That's what you love to see. This car on a slidey track, great combination. You're always going to be driving it. There's no resting during these races. Especially coming through turn 6 and 7. As you can see through 7, I think 3 times I had to get a bit more right hand down just to keep the thing going in a straight line. It's going to be a good fun race. Alright, thanks guys, hope to see you again next week. I've been Sambo iRacing.